Hey, Yes, it's Pielo again. Today I want to share with you something that is that is very interesting, and it's simply about being a middleman. Sometimes we seem to take this thing for granted, as a middleman. But maybe you might ask yourself, what is a middleman? Yeah, a middleman is basically if you are an employee. Obviously, you've got the company, you've got the middleman, and then you've got the customers. So being the middleman simply means you are the one who's doing all the so-called dirty job or dirty work. It's not really dirty, but this is where all the operations happen, So meaning you are the one who's probably doing the hard work, That's why I'm using so-called dirty work. It's not dirty work, it's actually doing the hard work, Without the middleman, the business cannot make, profit and the revenue. And without the middleman, the customer is unable to get the service that they are looking for. So being the middleman, the pressure is always on you because if the business is not making revenue or profit, the boss will fight you. At the same time, if the customers are not happy, they always fight you. So which is why I say it is a middleman. But there's a power being the middleman, which is something that I want to talk about today. It's more of being, the power that you have as the middleman. Because we sometimes take this thing for granted. There's so many challenges that we usually go through as being the middleman, and which involves emotional pain sometimes when things are not going your way. Sometimes you're not happy about the things. Probably your boss is not really treating you well, or maybe you are getting the pressure on both sides, of the customer, from the customer side and also from the businessman, the boss, So basically the pressure usually goes, to the middleman most of the time. Yes, there's still a pressure to the business owner and the customer. But the pressure, most of the pressure usually goes to the middleman. Yeah, so one of the things that I want us to talk about here is the pain that goes with that and how we can probably deal with that, Because sometimes you've got challenges, when you are an employee, you've got maybe family issues or you've got maybe challenges, or could be anything, it could be work-related issues, it could be maybe your family-related issues, and then you are expected to perform at your high level, at your highest best. It doesn't matter whether you didn't sleep well because you were involved in a fight with a family member or spouse, or maybe the customer just suddenly shouted at you. We know all these things with the experience that I have having to work for over 20 years, in one company. I know how it feels, to be under pressure, and when you're expected to be at your best, all the time. Yeah. So one of the things that I would like to encourage all my middlemen is that there's power of being a middleman, and one of the power that you possess is the skills that we have. So, but we have to look at this thing, two ways. The first one being, you have to sort of analyze and assess that wherever you are, the role that you are playing in your company that you are working for, if you've got the required skills or the skills that are necessary, not only to help you or the company, but to also help you, to achieve certain things, if you are working in a company where the skills that you possess are mainly for the benefit of the company, this is where, as a middleman, you have to start looking at other type of skills that you can develop, because it's painful sometimes when you work for a company for many years, and then later on, when those days comes, and then maybe your services come to an end, you realize that you did not possess anything that you can take to the outside world, because the outside world, with something that I call the marketplace, it is actually a world where if you don't have any value that you can give to the marketplace, you'll always have problems, you know. So I mean, it's painful. Imagine spending 10, 20 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, in a company, and then you suddenly find yourself outside work, and you've got no skills that you can sort of contribute to the marketplace, the skills that you can be able to convert into monetary, you know, things that, whether it's your knowledge, whether it's the skills, which is why I always encourage people that make sure that at least you have more than one skill as a middleman, or I mean, even if you are not an employee, but you need to have at least more than one skill, you know, and make sure that while you are still working, develop other important skills. One of the key things is that this is something that I learned from Jim Rohn, and who said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. The day I understood that, I realized that if I don't develop myself, I don't build other extra skills, I might be in trouble, you know, by the time, you know, my service ends, because you'll never know. I mean, but you just have to be prepared. So yeah, the key message today is simply, you know, make sure that you've got more than one skill. Don't just rely on the information that we have at the workplace. Don't just rely on the knowledge that you have from your qualification or maybe your formal education. You need to you know, we need to continue to learn. You know, we need to sort of learn more about the things that are affecting us, especially in the marketplace. You know, the marketplace is one place that it does not care about a lot of things. It's just more interested in its own needs. So if you cannot provide the needs to the marketplace with your skills, it doesn't matter how many years did you work, how many years did you spend working in one company. But if the skill that you possess cannot be converted into something that will add value to the marketplace, you'll realize that you've got some issues. So yeah, thanks a lot. I hope you got value on this thing. I'll keep on, you know, adding this type of video, especially talking about this concept as well, because this is where I realized that there's sort of a lot of emotional pain that comes, you know, with being an employee, or, you know, being involved in some kind of workplace, or where you are working, you know. So yeah, this is very critical, and I would like us to sort of start looking at this thing now and then, you know. Remember, we need to continue to learn. Education does not stop once you've got the qualification. Actually it is when it's supposed to start. You know, let's collect those books. Let's start reading the books. Let's start developing our skills and new skills, and let's start to make ourselves better, and every day. You know, yeah. Thanks a lot, my winners. Until I see you on another video, I hope you got some of the value from this video, and thanks a lot. Until I see you again on another video. Peace.